You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. What's going on, fellas? Back again, 2020, Lake Toho, second tour stop of the FLW Tour season 2019. We've been doing these since last year, and I truly enjoy breaking down the tournaments and kind of some neat things that have happened, maybe some bad things that have happened throughout the event. Hindsight for me is always 2020, right? You can always tell where you messed up and maybe where you could have improved, and it's always a good time to kind of reflect. So anytime you fish a tournament, you don't win, you really need to take a little bit of time to, number one, figure out what you did wrong. Number two, figure out how did people win the tournament, and what could you have done differently. And that's what 2020 is about. So we're going to talk about Lake Toho. We're also going to talk about a couple things that I've got coming up, and I also want to give a huge shout out to StarTron and Deck. That's who this video is presented by. StarTron right here. This stuff is awesome. If you guys have an engine, boat motor, car, goat cart, lawnmower, chainsaw, I don't care what it is. If it takes gasoline, you put this stuff in there and it is a fuel enzyme treatment. It keeps your stuff running strong, running good. Especially for bass boats, there's all these problems with ethanol. And as much travel as I do in the country, I can't always find ethanol-free fuel. So I'm always putting in StarTron just to keep things running good and tight, and stuff works great. This is one of the giant bottles here. We'll drop a link down below. It does 256 gallons. So you get one of these bottles. They're available at Bass Pro Shops. It'll last you for quite a while. But StarTron is awesome. Thank you for making great products and supporting me as a bass fisherman. Number two, Decked. Okay, the hat, logo in the background. What is Decked? If you don't know, Decked is the in-vehicle storage system that I use in my truck. I've been using it for, matter of fact, the same one for almost 3 years. It is super durable. It's weatherproof. It's not made out of wood, so it's lightweight. You can put 2,000 pounds on top of it. I mean, the thing is really good, and I keep all of my tackle organized inside, all my tools, and then I can put everything on top of the deck system. The big boxes of camera gear, other things that we might take to the tournaments, or even my Traeger grill, like I most of the time have stacked on top of that. So check out Decked. We'll drop a link down below. Obviously, StarTron's super good stuff. And by the way, guys, the deck system isn't as expensive as you probably think. So check it out. We'll drop a link. It fits just about any truck out there. So good stuff. And then the last thing I do want to say, I wasn't sure about this. I wasn't quite sure about LureLock. If you guys have seen this, this is the LureLock tackle storage box right here. I've got some now. I wasn't sure. You know, it's got the sticky coating in the bottom of it that kind of holds everything in place. In this particular model, they actually have regular storage ones as well that doesn't have the sticky coating, so you can put your soft plastics in. But this right here has that coating inside, and it's a very well-built box, okay? I'm liking it. Very sturdy. It's a thicker plastic. The latches are good. I'm digging that. But so I said I'm going to use it as a hook box. And I'm going to use it for all my hard baits too. But for a hook box, pretty sweet. I put all my trocars in here. I've got all my weights in here. And I want to show you something kind of cool, right? Now, this might not work out. Maybe something will fall out. I don't know. But that's my hook box, guys, okay? That's it. That's all that fell out. I mean, that's pretty impressive, guys. There's a lot of stuff in this tackle box right here. And that coating holds those hooks down. Now, why is that important? Here's why it's important. Because it allows your hooks and your weights to not clank together, which are going to dull your hooks. Rust will start setting in as the different metals are touching. Your tungsten weights, which are expensive, if they're clanking around inside all the time, it chips them, okay? That paint will chip off. I'm just telling you, it happens. And every season I have to kind of get a new hook box because they get destroyed, right? I'm liking this. I'm liking the fact that everything stays in there locked really good. The hooks, they're easy to pick up. I mean, there's no residue on them at all. So, pretty cool stuff, guys. Check it out. LureLock is the real deal. I'm digging it. And I'm going to use that. It's well built, good latches. I'm going to use the regular LureLock storage box for all my soft plastics and use more of these for my hard baits as well. So good stuff. The other thing that we've got going on is this Thursday, which is the 21st, and Friday of February, by the way, I'm going to be at Fort Myers Bass Pro Shops, okay, the Spring Classic. So I'm going to be Thursday night, I'm going to be there between 5 and 9, and on Friday I'm going to be there from 12 to 2. And then I'm going to jump on a plane Friday night and end up in Indianapolis for the Indianapolis Boat Show. So guys, if you're anywhere close to Indianapolis, be sure to come to the State Fairgrounds. Indianapolis Boat Show. It's going to be big. I'll be hanging out there all day Saturday, all day Sunday. So come by and hang out. So that's all the things I had to do. I appreciate you sticking through the video on that, okay? Really do. Appreciate all the support too. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. Lake Toho, a couple hours north of here. A lot of people think that probably I grew up fishing on Toho or fish Toho a lot, Kissimmee Chain. I really don't. The only time I fish the Kissimmee Chain is when we have a tournament, which is once every couple of years. So I don't really spend a lot of time there at all. Granted, it fishes very similar, at least Kissimmee for that matter, fishes a lot like Lake Okeechobee. And I do like the chain. Toho is probably the most different for me because it's just a round lake. It's clear, a lot more grass. It's just a different fishery. It's more of your Central Florida lake. Kissimmee fishes like Okeechobee. So second tournament of the year, had a good showing at Rayburn. You know, we need to keep this thing going. And the only difficult part about the Kissimmee Chain is you get 3 days of practice and you've got to make good decisions because you basically have 5 lakes. You have Kissimmee, which is on the southern part of the chain. You have Hatchnahaw, Lake Cypress, Lake Tiger, Toho, of course. So there's a lot of lakes to choose from. And in 3 days, you can't cover them all. So my plan going in was, to me, Toho looked good this year. The water was up, the grass was pretty thick, the water was clear. I really felt like the bass were going to make a big spawn, a big push to the banks, especially with the warming trend that we had coming on. And also, Kissimmee hasn't been that good because of the hurricane, and the water levels there were actually lower, and the water wasn't great. But I knew that Kissimmee was going to turn on eventually, but it just hadn't yet. Like, it just really wasn't great yet. So here was my plan. I figured I would spend the first day on Kissimmee, second day on Toho, and then depending on which one I liked the best, I'd go back to that lake on day 3, last day of practice. So I'll go out of Kissimmee on day 1 of practice, and the very first place I'll pull into, it's an open bay with some submerged hydrilla, pick up a lipless crankbait and a chatterbait, roll through there and catch about 14 pounds pretty quick. I mean, first spot I stopped on. So I waypointed, of course, and rolled on out of there. Fished throughout the rest of the day, and caught fish here and there, but nothing great. Like, never found a group of fish. And really, you have to find a group of fish in Florida. You can't run around the lake and expect to win. You can't run over here and catch 2 or 3 and then run over there. You need to find a group of pads. You need to find a bay. You need to find a big giant mat of hydrilla. Some area on the lake that's holding a good concentration of fish that you can kind of stay there for all, you know, at least 2 or 3 days and possibly 4. That's how you win a tournament in Florida. And so the first day I went around, I never really found a great spot on Kissimmee other than that very first spot I pulled up on. Rolled over to Toho on day 2, basically found some sight fish and was feeling good about it. Found some nice ones. So I thought to myself, you know what? The sun's starting to come out even better. I'm going to spend extra time on Toho. I'm going to spend my last day of practice. I'm going to go all in on Toho. I think I can pull it off. And I spent the last day of practice, guys, out there, and it was weird. The water started falling. They started letting water out of the lake, and the fish kind of stopped spawning. Like, they stopped coming up. Like, it was like I went back and checked some of them, and they were starting to leave. So it got me spooked. I had found a couple big ones, and I found one real big, like a 9-pounder, and I thought, man, you know, I just don't know. I don't think I could stretch. That's what I thought. I didn't think I could stretch sight fishing on Toho for a course of 4 days. Just didn't have enough fish and couldn't get it figured out. Buddy Gross and a few other guys figured out how to catch them out in the middle of the lake and along the edges of the lake on that hydrilla. And that's eventually how the tournament was won. And I didn't really have the time to devote to that because when you're sight fishing in practice, you know, you're on the trolling motor, you're going from bay to bay to bay, and you're zigzagging all around trying to find as many fish as you can and marking them as the best you can. And I just kind of got too sucked in on the sight fishing. So really, I guess hindsight is 20/20, right? It's hard to win a tournament sight fishing in Florida. It really is. In South Florida, especially, even the Kissimmee Chain. So I really should have just not wasted a lot of time, even though there was some nice ones up sight fishing. I should have just spent my time out in the lake looking for a group of fish. I should have spent my time at Kissimmee, you know, flipping pads and looking for a group of fish. I just kind of wasted some time sight fishing. But when the dust settled, I figured I had enough fish found to kind of survive day 1. Went out on day 1, ran my stuff, and guys, I didn't go right to this fish. I found a 9-pounder in practice, and I thought, well, it's probably not going to be there. So I didn't start on it. I started on some other things, and about 9 o'clock, I rolled over to that spot, and pretty much thinking it's not going to be there. I trolling motored up there and did a little peek over. All I saw was eyeballs. Here, check out this footage. This was pretty cool, and it was a heck of a fight too.
Is that where the bed is?
I think it was either there on that other corner, but I think it was there. If I can get this one to go, it's a giant. It's like a 9 or a 10. Oh, I see her. She's there. Oh man, she's looking at it. Oh gosh, she's all over it, dude. Oh, she's got it. I got her, dude. Yeah, gotta do this. Oh, oh, oh. This, Lord, awesome. Oh my gosh, dude. Look at that. 15-pound line, 10-pounder. Dude, how about that, guys? Wasn't that crazy? Now here's what the funny part is. I caught that fish on this rod right here. This is a 7.3 rush, heavy action, but it's not a heavy duty rod like for like catching giant bass out of like holes in the grass. 15-pound, that's right, 15-pound P-line tactical, okay? This stuff's no joke, by the way. I love the tactical. I use it on just about everything. If I'm not using their braid, I'm using tactical. That's basically what's spooled up on all my stuff. 15-pound P-line tactical fluorocarbon. And this particular bait I flipped on it was just a regular fluke. It's a kind of like a Cinco in a way. I just pitched a fluke in there, watermelon red, let it flutter down on a super lightweight. Fish in Florida like a fluke because I think it reminds them of like a bluegill, and they just react to it well. It's a very finessey style. And to be honest with you guys, I didn't think the fish was gonna bite that quick. I thought that I would just kind of see what it acted like, see if that fish, how she acted. I pitched in there, that bait fluttered down. All of a sudden, I see the fish turn, and she got fired up on it. And next thing you know, she bit, and I'm thinking, I don't want to set the hook, dude. I want to have my rod with braid. I want to have like at least 20 on. It's a giant bass. Well, I got her in. She weighed exactly 9 pounds. And I thought, you know what? That's good. Good stuff. That's going to survive me for the day. Thank you, P-Line. Thank you, Favorite, for holding up on all that. Made a little move. Went to start looking for some more. And I see this pad moving. I look up in front of the boat. I'm back in this little bay, seeing some males swim around. I see a pad shaking. Boom, boom, boom. I pitch over there. Same thing. 15-pound line, 7.3. Pitch over there. Boom. Catch a male, like a 2-pounder. So I unhook it. Look back at the pad. Before I even let the fish go, the pad moves again. I'm like, I pitch over there and the water boils. And I even say, it's hard to hear me in the video, there's a big one here. There's a big one here. It just took off. It just took off. Check it out. Check this out. Ooh, big swirl. There's a female there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. See the big swirl? Look at the water. There's a female on that bed.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Oh my gosh.
Let me get a picture of the knife on here for a second.
Wow. Wow. Unbelievable, dude. Wow, guys. I caught the male. When I pitched back in there, a big swirl happened. I told you. Wasn't that crazy? That was awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go here in a minute. It's thank you, Lord. Yeah, I just literally first cast in there, lifted up. I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, there's a big one somewhere around, and then I see my line moving off. Set the hook, another one that was basically 9 pounds. So I've got 2 9-pounders in one day. Great day, basically had 25 pounds. And as crazy as it may sound, guys, I didn't think that I could go back to Toho and duplicate that again. That to me was like bonus fish, you know what I mean? So I was spooked. I thought, hey, going to Kissimmee, I'm gonna go right to that area where I caught those fish the first day of practice, and that's what I did. Andrew Upshaw was down in the area. He went down there on day 1, caught them good. Some other guys were in there. I pulled in there on day 2 and caught 18 pounds and started expanding, kind of running around the lake. I kind of took 2 or 3 hours at it every day to kind of expand and look for more fish. And I did. I found more fish, but again, I never found that big group. I never found a place where I could settle in and settle down. So the first 2 days, it was all about sight fishing and all about throwing lipless crankbaits and throwing some swimming worms and things like that. Day 3 and day 4 is all going to be about flipping and pitching. And that's when I pulled out my flipping stick. That's a 7.6 favorite rod, balance model. Guys, this rod is $79. Now, if you'd have asked me before I fished with this rod, hey, dude, this rod's $79. Would you fish a tournament with this rod? I would probably say no, because I would think that $79 means that it's just not very durable, not very good. Dude, I'm fishing with this rod in tournaments, and I'm going to continue to fish with this rod in tournaments. The Balance Series, $79. We're going to drop a link down below. Flipping stick, go get you one, okay? Matter of fact, I just got through the sunburn is from fishing on Lake Okeechobee, which you hadn't seen these videos yet. Yeah, catching 8-pounders, bunches of them, 4s and 5s on this rod, boat swinging them. It's good, 79 bucks. Yeah, thank me later. 50-pound and 65-pound P-line X-Braid, depending on which one I was flipping. But I was flipping a 5/0 Trocar TK130, my favorite hook ever, okay? Straight shank. I was pitching a 1/2 to a 3/4 ounce weight, depending on how thick it was, and flipping my little baby, the bandito bug. Okay, you guys, you see me fish with it all the time. When it comes to flipping and pitching, the bandito bug gets it done. It's a great bait, and that's basically what I did. I went around flipping and pitching in the holes and in the pads, looking for a concentration of fish that are moving and spawning. I never really connected with them, right? I caught males. My weight went from 25 pounds to 18 pounds to 12 pounds to like 11 pounds, okay? Finished out the tournament in 8th place. Not great, but I really didn't have that much. If I really evaluate what I had, it really wasn't that much. So I'm very happy and very blessed to be able to pull out a top 10 on Toho, on the Kissimmee Chain, when I really didn't have a lot of fish. I really didn't. So it was a good event. You know, again, looking back, I needed to find groups of fish offshore. Congratulations, Buddy Gross, for putting the whipping on them. He did really, really, really good out there, throwing swim baits and all the different things out there in that grass. And a couple of the guys caught them out there too. So guys, next tournament is going to be Seminole. It's going to be a sight fishing tournament again. It's going to be some casting, some moving baits and flipping. It's going to be very similar type stuff as what we did at the Kissimmee Chain. The only difference is you don't have to find necessarily a group of fish as much as you do on the Kissimmee Chain. At Seminole, you can bounce around a little bit more. You can run over here, run over there, pick a fish up here, pick a fish up there. Looking forward to it. We're also going to have an SMC booth at the weigh-in all 4 days, so be sure to come by. And guys, check your calendars. Where are you when we're fishing these tournaments? So if you're close by, come and hang out. I'm there, Billy's there, Brandon's there, some of the other fishermen are there kind of hanging out. So it's good stuff. Also, Marshall program. I probably had 10 different people come up to me at the last tournament and said, thank you for letting me know about the Marshall program. And they signed up and they got to hang out in the back of the boats of my boat and other anglers on the tour. And they absolutely enjoyed it. It's a good time. It costs you $100 to come hang out with us and get 2 days on the water and a chance to win money, depending on where your guys finish in the tournament, and you get your name put in to win a boat at the end of the year. So the FLW Marshall program is the real deal. It's awesome. You guys have been a big help so far this year. A lot of the guys that have been in my boat have been helping taking pictures. They've held the camera. They've been a big part of what I've been doing. So thank you very much. So I can't think of anything else. Oh, one thing, very important, very important, very important. I hope you're still on the video. I hope you didn't click off at like 4 minutes, okay? Because I have partnered up with Sunglass Outfitters. That's right. Now, what is Sunglass Outfitters? They are the booth, okay, the sunglass counter at all Bass Pro and Cabela's stores. So right now, during the Spring Classic events, you need to go to the Spring Classic, go to the Sunglass Outfitters booth, check out some Costa glasses or whatever's going on. They can tell you what you need. They can help you find some stuff. And there's an opportunity to win a fishing trip with me on Lake Chickamauga right after the FLW tournament we have there, okay? So, guys, doesn't cost you anything. Go there. They also got some swag they're giving away. They got some little gifts. So come by the Sunglass Outfitters booth and have some fun. It's going to be a lot of good stuff. And hopefully one of you guys that are watching this video will win the trip to go fishing with me. So that is it. We're gone. I'm out of here. Thank you again for hanging out and putting up with all my silliness. Really do appreciate it. We'll see you guys.